Hey guys, what is up? Thank you so much for being here for my Insecure live chat this week. If you are in the room or whenever you get to the room, say hello so I can give you a shout out. So last week, Issa had said on Twitter that this was one of her favorite episodes of the season. So I was pretty excited to watch it, and I agreed that it was definitely way better than the first two episodes of this season. Of course, I absolutely loved it because it dealt with Lawrence and Issa, who I love and want them to be together and think that they will eventually be together. Like, I'm hoping they'll really be together in this show, like maybe even get married or something like down the road. So, hey T, thank you so much for being here. So for me, it was a really good episode. I'm excited to see like what your guys' thoughts are about it. So I guess the first thing we should talk about was the awkward Friendsgiving that Condola had. I kind of felt like it was sort of rude that she told Lawrence that she wasn't planning on inviting him. Like, I didn't feel like there was really any reason to mention that after, they were like talking in bed and she mentioned what she was doing, and he kind of got invited in a roundabout way, or she said he invited himself. But then like later on after the event, like I just felt like she didn't really need to tell him that she wasn't planning on having him there. And it just kind of seemed like the vibes were off between both of them. It seemed like Lawrence was hoping for, one thing from her, like they were going to have like a serious relationship, maybe even if things go well, like, like maybe get married and have a family. Like he was hoping that she was on that same wavelength, but then he found out from like talking to one of her friends and just like from some of her conversation at the event that like she doesn't even know if she wants to get married again. She was recently divorced. She doesn't know if she wants to like have a family. She just seemed like very like wishy-washy about everything. So I just think that he looked at her in a different kind of light at this point, and he just like was like, oh, like this was kind of like an eye-opening moment. And I feel like they haven't really dated for that long, maybe like a month or two. So he was kind of like, oh, like I feel like he's gonna step back a little bit because of the stuff that was revealed at Friendsgiving. Now, my very favorite part of the episode was at the end when he was sitting at home looking through Instagram stories, and he saw Issa, who had been at the Mexican restaurant earlier, and he thought that was super funny. Just the fact that he felt the need to react to the story and send the laughing face. You can tell, and I think this is something we've already known before this episode, that he still like has feelings for her, and she even admitted last night that she has feelings for him. So yay, it makes me so happy, even though like Condola I thought was a really good person for Lawrence, but then after last night I kind of feel the way that he does, like, oh, they're like not at the same place. Now I feel like also that doesn't mean that she can't change her mind. She's coming out of a situation where she was in a failed marriage. I know it's been like a year and a half or whatever, but I feel like sometimes you go into a new relationship thinking like you want certain things, or you're not open to other things, but then like the more you date someone and like fall in love with them and get to know them, then you change your mindset and you are open to more things. And maybe this will happen with Condola. Maybe she's like in a certain mindset right now, but the longer she's with Lawrence, if that works out, if they stay together, she might like change her mind and want to be with him and want to have a family with him and all of that, like want to be more serious. I mean, I would say that it's still pretty early in their relationship, so I'm not sure which way this is going to go. Like, I feel like they won't break up over this, but I know that he looks at her a little bit differently now, so that's interesting. I'm not expecting him to like have any kind of moment with Issa or like cheat on her or anything. But she actually seems pretty worried about Issa. Like, well, we didn't really know that before last night, but she was like, he was trying to be like, oh, do you still have feelings for your ex? And she was like, no, but maybe I should be worried about your ex because you still, you still have jokes and you still see her and whatever. And I think for Condola, yeah, like I think, yes, she should be a little bit concerned. But like I told you, if you saw my chat last week, I would be super concerned as Issa because Condola has a lot going for her. And I think I thought she would be a good match for Lawrence. So considering that Issa still has feelings for Lawrence and probably would like to get back with him at some point, I would be like so worried to see my ex with someone like Condola, because it would be like, like I could see that working out like long term. That would make me super nervous, and there's just a lot of resentment on Issa's part because, when she dated Lawrence, he didn't have a job and she kind of viewed him as kind of like a bum. He was like always on her couch. She was trying to pay for everything. And she brought this up last night because, she was like, I had to do everything for him and I was with someone that had potential, and now he's reached that potential, but he's with another woman. So now he has like all of his stuff together, but he's with another woman who, Condola probably wouldn't have given him the time of day if he was the way he was when he was with Issa. So she's kind of, jaded by that. And I understand that. Like, I see where she's coming from, because she was like supporting him and he really didn't have a lot of motivation. He was just like kind of in a down point in his life. And I think it was good that they broke up, because he definitely needed that motivation to like get his stuff together and like get a job and like do things and get out of Best Buy. I think that's where he worked before. Like to start like doing things with his life. Sometimes you have to make like an uncomfortable decision. Of course, it really wasn't his fault as far as them breaking up, considering that she cheated, but we kind of know why she cheated, because just the drama that she was having with Lawrence, but not that it makes it okay that she cheated. So I'm just interested to see how this will all play out. And this is definitely something that I've thought about a lot with the show, what's going to happen to Lawrence and Issa. And I'm just excited for the day that something happens with them kind of getting together. But I'm not saying that I want him to cheat on Condola or anything like that. I hope that it doesn't happen in a situation where it's like surrounded by drama. Like, I hope they can come together without like people cheating or just doing crazy stuff. And, I also don't know, like, whenever they do come back together, will they stay together at that point? I could kind of see them like coming together but separating, and then like eventually getting back together, maybe like when the show is going to end or something, and like getting married or something. So let's talk about Molly. So Molly and Issa are kind of on the outs right now, and Issa was supposed to go see her like after the Thanksgiving meals, but she bailed on that because they're just kind of in a weird place right now. But Molly was having like, she was wondering if she should invite Andrew to her family's Thanksgiving meal, and Issa was like, oh no, you definitely shouldn't do that. Like, it's just too soon, because it's only been a couple months, and they are kind of in a weird place too, her and Andrew. And then like her mom was like, why didn't you invite him? Like, it would have been totally fine because your brothers have people here. I mean, I guess they've been with their people longer, obviously. But I didn't know what you guys thought about that. Did you feel like she should have invited him? In my opinion, I feel like it's a little early, especially because of some of the conversations she's had with Andrew. And I would say she's a little bit on thin ice with him, because she kind of freaked out when he was at her house, I think last week. And there's just a little bit of weird vibes between them. So I think inviting someone to your family's Thanksgiving, that's to me more intimidating than inviting someone to a Friendsgiving where it's just like other couples and stuff. But like having him come over to meet like her whole family, and literally everyone there was her family. There weren't like random friends or anything like that. I think that's a lot. And I think when you've only dated someone for 2 months, I feel like that's just a lot, unless, well, I just don't really think there is a place for that, really. I think it would have been too soon. I think that she made the right choice in not inviting him, and I don't think he was, like, upset or anything that he wasn't invited. Hi, thank you so much for being here. Is it tell me how to say your name. I have no idea, but it starts with an L. I know you've been here before, and I don't know how to pronounce it, and I would like to know. So for those of you in the room, if you want to tell me what you thought about this episode, I would love to hear it. And if you're watching this after this has been live, please leave me comments and let me know your thoughts. And I always go back and reply to those after this is no longer live. But anyway, for me, obviously, it was like a great episode, because my favorite part of the show is the dynamic between Lawrence and Issa and the hope that they can reconcile one day. I thought Condola had like a really beautiful house. I thought it was super funny that her sink wasn't working, and I knew that Lawrence didn't really know how to fix her sink. I think he saw a YouTube video. Hi Diva, thank you so much for being here. So it was pretty hilarious that the shirt that they had made fun of him for wearing got like soaked when he went to use the sink during the Friendsgiving, and obviously he didn't fix it right, and it just went all over him. So I thought that was super, super funny. But he's he was probably my second favorite character to Issa on the show. So the fact that Lawrence had a ton of screen time last night made me super happy, even if he hadn't have been dealing with the Issa stuff. I just thought the ending was perfect. I also thought it was perfect to include Maya's Case of the Ex song, especially the lyric that they started with. I always loved that song. And I also saw on Twitter that Issa also like always loved that song, the real Issa, the actress, and she loved Maya, and she wanted to include that song. That's been a favorite of mine since, like, I don't know, that song was really old, but I remember when it came out, I was like, oh, I love this song. So it was like the perfect song to include in that, because, that moment where he was looking at her Instagram story, and he didn't have to send a reaction, but for those of you who know how we all know, but I mean, when you're on Instagram stories, that's a good way to like get a conversation started with someone. If you don't want to like text them or something like that, is, you know, to react to their Instagram story. And it's so easy to do by just sending one of those emojis that they offer you up. So you're showing you have some interest. You don't have to like type a big thing or be like, oh, hey, that was so cool or whatever. All you have to do is hit one button, send like one emoji. But then she was like typing back, but you know, she knows, or whoever gets the thing knows, oh, this person has some interest in me. Now, whether you want them to be interested or not is another story. But I just think it's funny that, you know, he watched other people's stories. He didn't feel the need to send an emoji or any type of reaction, but what, you know, yeah, he thought it was funny, and it was funny. It was cute. And you could just tell that he thought it was cute and he thought she was being cute. And he felt the need to go ahead and press send and send something to her, letting her know like, hey, I thought that was cute. You know, I thought that was funny, Issa. So yeah. I did see some people on Twitter like thinking that was cheating, or having like a big issue with it. I don't think it was. I mean, I guess it depends on what happened with the rest of their conversation. And like I said, I hope it doesn't go down that route where they end up cheating and he cheats on Condola or whatever. I don't want them to get back together in that way. I thought it was cute. I didn't feel like it was cheating, but I don't know what you guys think. Maybe you do. But, you know, obviously it was suggestive and it was obviously something he didn't have to do. Would you guys be mad if you were Condola and knew that he sent an emoji response to her story? I don't know. I would be interested to hear what you had to say about that. I'm trying to think what else happened in the episode, but it was good. It was weird to me that we were talking about Thanksgiving and we're in almost May. Now, like every time I watch a show, I think about the fact that when they just like the fact that everything has changed so much, and like how they're at a restaurant or whatever, and like everyone's sitting closely together, and like how none of this could ever happen. Like they're preparing for a block party. Obviously, a lot of people are going to be there. So it makes it a little bit sad in a way, because I'm like, I don't know when we're ever going to be able to do those kind of things again, or like when, or will the things ever be normal ever, like normal the way we knew them before, like Corona and all that. So I don't know. But and then I always wonder like how delayed everything's going to be. Like, I don't know when they were planning on filming season 5. Like, is that going to be delayed? I feel like so many shows are going to be delayed because no one can film anything right now. On a side note, if you guys are looking for shows, a lot of times you guys are looking for new shows to watch, and this is not like a secret show or one that people don't know, but I just started watching Ozark on Netflix. Very different from this show. Definitely like tons of action, tons of crazy things that happen that you like don't even expect, but it's really, really, really good. I love it so much. I'm on the 2nd season. There's 3 seasons. So if you're just dying to find something and you haven't heard about that, or you've heard about it but you weren't sure, I like highly recommend it. It's definitely a show more like How to Get Away with Murder or Breaking Bad or something like that, but it's on another level because it's on Netflix and they can get away with like so much more than those other 2 shows could. Yes, so we do, Diva, have American Horror Story coming back because that was filmed before all of this stuff happened. So we're going to have that. And I think they've been a little bit secretive about exactly what this season will be about, as they always have. So I'm definitely planning on watching that and doing like these types of videos about it. So that's exciting. Probably will be in the fall unless I'm wrong. That's usually when it comes back. So yeah, I mean, I'm just thankful that we have Insecure. I'm thankful that I found something else to watch on Netflix. And then I'm also watching How to Get Away with Murder, which is back this Thursday after taking a week off because of the NFL draft. So if you haven't caught up on that show, or you've never watched that show, it's probably on Netflix. There's been a lot of seasons. It's really good if you're looking for something else to watch. I feel like now so many of us have like a lot of time. So even if something is a billion seasons, you might want to invest in that. You might want to start watching that. Did anyone have any specific comments about this episode, or anything that they liked or they didn't like, or something they're hoping happens this season? Again, I really, really loved it, and just gives me like a glimmer of hope that my dream of Issa and Lawrence reuniting is going to happen eventually. I don't know if it's going to happen this season or not, but I just feel like, you know, it will eventually happen. So I'm super excited by that. But I guess since no one else has any comments, I will just end this here. I'm still planning on doing these chats every Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern. Diva said she thought this episode was better than last week. Yeah, I thought this was the best episode of the season. Of course, there's only been 3, but I felt like this was definitely way better than the first 2 episodes. But I think the season will get better as it goes on. But anyway, I'm planning on doing these every Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern here on my channel. Diva says Lawrence is opening the door. Yeah, definitely, and it was a very small thing that he did by sending the emoji reaction to the Instagram story, but that lets her know that he's still interested, maybe just a little bit. Doesn't mean like, oh, he's going to leave Condola for her, but there's some interest. I think that's what all of us would think if we got any type of DM from an ex, I'm sorry, any type of DM, I feel like is saying, I still care about you, because why DM them? Why you don't, there's no need to send like an emoji response. There's no need for that. Unless you really want to show that person that you have interest in them. Diva says Molly and Issa's relationship is deteriorating. Yeah, I think that eventually they'll get like back on track, but right now they're just kind of not on the same, the vibes are not matching for them. And I don't really think Condola is going to be like a great friend for Issa because there's just too much drama with her dating Issa's ex and everything. But I think that they will kind of get back on track, Molly and Issa. And I'm hoping that happens in this season. But they may have a few more episodes where they have some drama. And I feel like they'll probably come to like a boiling point where they have like a big conversation or something. Maybe even like a mini fight or something to like work out their issues, whatever they are. And then they'll like get in a better place. But anyway, thank you guys for everyone who was here. And thank you for those of you who are watching this after it has aired live. Please leave me a comment on my channel if you want to tell me something about your thoughts about this season. And I will reply to you. But I hope you guys are staying safe, staying well, getting through this time. It's a hard time, obviously, for everyone. Very hard. I'm hoping eventually, like I think I say every time I talk to you guys, things will somehow get to some sort of different, some sort of more like normal than this, because, it's seems like never ending sometimes. But I hope you guys are well. I will talk to you soon. Bye.